Oh my God! It's like they have him on. Okay.
This Michael Richards thing. Well, now I don't know him well. I've known him a long time, but I don't know him well. And I can remember years and years.
See, watch David Letterman distancing himself from the racist.
Yeah. Well, Letterman knew what was coming. Letterman was like, I'm already like have a secret wife on the show. So, like, I can't have the secret wife and be friends with the racist guy. Which is true, but
it is true.
Let's see how he's rocking.
At the comedy
Kramer
store,
rocking.
He would get on stage, and he was always a very dynamic performer.
Dynamic is right.
That's a good way to put it.
Audiences were frightened. But still, we all got a kick out of it because it was in good fun, and he was and is a very funny guy. And then we see this thing today where he goes nuts in some kind of club and is screaming at people. Have you talked to him? Do you know anything about this?
I did talk to him. I talked to him today, and I was extremely upset about it, and he is extremely upset about it. And I asked him if he would come on the show tonight so that he could explain what happened, because it was just one of those awful things,
right.
And I think he's a little mystified about what happened, but I think most importantly he wanted to.
We have him live via satellite
Yes,
from
we
Los
do.
Angeles.
Yeah, he's a little
Jake doesn't know
mystified.
what happened,
That's awesome. That's great.
man?
And
There has to be like a middle ground between like this and, Doritos being like, Doritos values the black experience. There has to be like a media middle ground between those two extremes.
Yeah,
that we're trying to find.
Yeah, it's white people washing black people's feet and chaining themselves up. That's the middle ground.
Yeah. That was cool. Like July of last year.
That's the most well accepted, well established form of anti-racism is when you self-flagellate.
And Taylor Loft supports Black Lives Matter, and it's like, how? What? Fuck.
Oh, it's great.
Sorry, this should be Michael Richards. Michael, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Hi, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Hello, hi.
How you doing?
I'm not doing too good.
Yeah. Why don't you explain exactly what happened for the folks who may not know?
I lost my temper on stage. I was at a comedy club trying to do my act, and I got heckled, and I took it badly and went into a rage, and said some pretty nasty things to some Afro-Americans.
He's barred out.
A lot of trash talk, and
Stop laughing.
My man said Afro-Americans. Oh, this video is perfect, dude.
Yeah, he's barred the fuck out.
He says Afro-Americans, and then it is only made even more perfect by the side-by-side with Seinfeld scolding people, being like, stop laughing.
I love it, that like no one here is black.
Yeah, of course.
Black as or something. I don't know. It's like that. Like Seinfeld has the role of like forgiving Kramer. He's the priest. He's like, I absolve him.
Yeah, that's just how it works. He's
Not fun.
And what were you were actually being heckled, or were they just talking and disturbing the act?
that was going on too.
What?
What the fuck does that even mean?
He's barred out. Like he's off like 2 bars right now because Michael Richards is a big guy. He can handle 2 bars. But it's like, look, like I said, as of last night, I made my mind up that I don't approve of this.
This video was the reason why it was so hard, I think, for you to figure it out.
Yeah, because I was like, he seems sorry.
Yeah.
But I think like if you do that, which is a situation most people will never find themselves in. But if you do, and you're not like, oh, I have to kill myself.
Sorry, I'm a post-leftist, so that situation is actually the only way you can prove that you're white working class. Sorry.
Yeah, he's working class.
Yeah,
he's in a union.
Yeah,
but
he's in a union. He made $20 million a year. That normally would make him a PMC, of course. But in this situation, he's working class because he said the N-word.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
It's the only way to figure it out.
But if you do that, if you like, one of the first like national viral videos, and it's like for that, there's no one's taking your side. You just have to like do Xanax for a year, I think. If you're like already rich, if you're like already a millionaire, that's kind of the move, and that's clearly what he's doing. I have never seen someone so clearly off the bars.
Yeah, he's living his best life, living La Vida Loca, as they say.
Do you think Kramer, like, in this period of his life where he's like, before this, like obviously before the incident, do you think he was like fucking like a lot?
He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who fucks.
Yeah, probably not.
He's like weird, right? I mean, I don't know.
He's weird, but it's also like he probably has like $200 million is the thing. Like if you take the weirdest guy in the world and he's still a rich guy like in Southern California. And it's like he's probably fucking like some USC grad.
I don't know why you're calling me out like this.
I'm not saying, well, no. I'm saying, like, for someone who's, like, there's, like, a type of, like, 50-something-year-old celebrity where it's, like, you wouldn't think it, but it's, like, yeah, they're, like, David Caruso probably is, like...
Bob Saget,
David Caruso, like, that type of guy is probably just boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah,
Him,
people are like, oh my God, I used to love you when I was like 13. You know what I mean? And now they're like 18 and he's having sex with them.
Yeah.
It's like very sad.
But he doesn't like, I kind of like just assume that all of those guys do that, but like he doesn't, I have like a moment of doubt with him where it's really difficult for me to picture.
Rob Lowe, oh yeah, for sure.
Rob Lowe cannot stop doing it, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet that's his favorite.
I think he has I remember meeting him at a party. I think he has like a fiance or something at the time.
Does he still have her?
Maybe
or
not.
Was,
I don't know.
Or was he like, damn, I love meeting some girl named Makrenda. This is born in 1999. It's my favorite thing to do.
David Spade, but he pulls it off. Okay, let's keep.
David Spade is swag. I don't care. Like he's fine if he does that. He's swag.
Rob Lowe had a sex tape with a 16-year-old. What? Okay.
Oh yeah, that was in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah, that of course that wasn't illegal in the 80s, and also actually it was encouraged.
Yeah, he got a medal.
Yeah.
From George H.W. Bush.
It's like
good job, Rob.
It's like being a congressperson in Florida. Like you have to have at least one DUI.
Isn't it cool? The Matt Gaetz thing, like, I'm sidetracking it so much. But like,
I know, me too. But now let's watch the rest of this apology. We're jumping
I'm gonna
what?
Grab a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Been up all day.
Wait, bring me one too.
I got you.
Thank you.
And did you...
I know, I'm hearing your audience laugh, you know, and it's I'm not even sure that this is where I should be addressing the situation. I've already heard you make some jokes about it, and that's okay, you know. But I'm really busted up over this, and I'm
really
very,
busted
very sorry.
up. Motherfucker is like, I'm the real victim here. Okay, I did a racism. I'm the victim. Stop laughing.
That's the thing I always appreciated about this is that in addition to what he did, he was born in like 1935, so he's like, oh, I really feel like a fool. Like,
yeah.
After saying the most racist shit of all time, just being, oh, I really stepped in it. I feel like a nincompoop.
Yeah, the other N word.
See, if he said that,
to those
see, that would have been
people in the audience, the blacks, the Hispanics, the whites, everyone that was there that took the brunt of that anger and hate and rage and how it came through, and I'm concerned about more hate and more rage and more anger coming through, not just towards me, but towards a black-white conflict. There's a great deal of disturbance in this country and how blacks feel about what happened in Katrina. And you know, many of the comics, many performers...
He brought it back to Katrina. Oh my God. How blacks feel about Katrina? What?
He's going in.
Katrina. And you know, many of the comics feel about what disturbance in this country and how blacks feel about what happened in Katrina. And you know, many of the comics... Many performers are in Las Vegas and New Orleans trying to raise money for what happened there. And for this to happen, for me to be in a comedy club and flip out and say this crap, you know, I'm deeply, deeply sorry. And I'll get to the force field of this hostility, why it's there, why the rage is in any of us, why the trash takes place.
Like, come on, we're all a little racist. Like, who amongst us hasn't said the N-word like a million times? Come on.
This is where Robin DiAngelo got the idea for white fragility. Because she was like, oh, I guess that is in all of us.
Yeah.
we were all ready to do that.
Whether or not it's between me and a couple of hecklers in the audience, or between this country and another nation. The
Michael,
rage.
let me interrupt here for a second and ask a question about had the people doing the heckling, or the people who were not paying attention, had they been white or Caucasian or any other race, what would have been the nature of your response then?
It may have happened. You know, I'm a performer. I push the envelope. I work in a very uncontrolled manner on stage. I do a lot of free association.
He pushed it so far, he pushed it back.
They should have just... Letterman should have kept going with that line of question, being like,
would you call them the N-word?
Yeah. What if they were Asian? What would you say to them?
Yeah, just like, can you tell me some of these slurs?
Yeah. Well, how would your response be to like a rude rabbi?
Yeah. What if they were Polish?
What if a bunch of Hasids came in there and started doing their thing?
Yeah.
How would you respond?
Spontaneous. I go into character. I don't know. In view of the situation and the act going where it was going, I don't know. The rage did go all over the place. It went to everybody in the room. But you can't. You know, I know blacks could feel I'm not a racist. That's what's so insane about this. I don't. And yet, it's sad.
Bro, there's no what do you do in that situation?
You just
don't address it. You just like take your money and you run, right?
You're ghost. You're ghost.
Yeah.
You have to like, if you really want to like live a good lifestyle, what you have to do is you have to go to a country where no one would care about this. You have to go to like Hungary.
No, you go to France.
Ukraine.
No, France. Where they're that's where you go. You do pedophilia, you go to France. You do racism, you go to France. They will accept you.
Yeah.
And then you become the mayor.
If you went to Hungary, France, Ukraine, any of those places, he would be fine. He's like got tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Or if you're not that rich, if you can't like write your own ticket out of there, I think you just have to like die. You just have to be like, well,
this is it.
There's like, what can you? You couldn't really do if you weren't like rich. There's nothing you really could do in 2005. But like, if it's like if you really needed money from stand up or whatever, and you like, just there's nothing you can do.
I feel like in order to like rehabilitate his image behind the scenes, he has to like work with like black teens or something. I don't know. Without
more than that, he would have to be like, he would have to like disappear for 2 years. You don't hear about him. You think he like killed himself or like went to another country. You don't even think about him. You forget he exists. Then 3 years later, it's like, I like the gang war in Chicago stopped. Like we resolved it. We've like replaced all the industry we lost. We completely fixed this problem. And he did it.
Yeah.
Like,
single-handedly.
Like an impossible task for like an individual to do. It would have to be something like that.
Yeah. I mean, he'd be the vector of the anger. He would solve the violence because everyone would be like, yo, fuck this guy instead.
That would be interesting. It would be like if he...
I've just reduced gang violence to literally just like people being angry at one another. That's why it happens.
Yeah. Well, if he went into, it's just such a weird thing that you wouldn't expect. Like if you were like a BD or a GD or like an MC, and this guy shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm like here to fix everything."
Yeah.
You would almost like give him I would give him a chance because it would be like, well, I definitely didn't expect that.
He'd be the Jared Kushner of Chicago.
Yeah.
Solving the problems.
It would have to be something like that, or like he like cures a disease. It would be all these things that he has no ability to do. So it's just like it's either that or go to Poland.
Yeah. He would be loved there as well.
It comes through. It fires out of me, and even now in the passion and the.
I'm about to say it again. I'm so passionate. Every time I get passionate, I want to say it.
That's here as I confront myself.
Did you think that somehow by being outrageous and completely inappropriate that it might somehow make the situation diffuse it a bit or make it seem lighter than it was?
I tried to do that. You don't have the whole thing there with what they're.
I always, it's out of context. You know what diffuses most situations? Saying the N-word.
Well, that's
over and over again.
That's what like that he's saying. Like, I think Letterman. They're talking about the fork thing when he said fork up the ass. I think to Letterman thinks that it was a joke he told to like bring the temperature down in the room after he went off. But
yeah.
I don't know what that is. I think he's just like. He freaked out. He's the type of guy to freak out. And he needs more Xanax now, I think.
I mean, yeah.
Showing.
I also do love that, like, David Letterman is trying to do the rehabilitation here where it's like, come on, why were you doing it? But he's doing it in, like, the most, like, old white dude way possible where he's like, would you have done it if it was a white person? I mean, you were just telling jokes. You got out of control, right? Like,
that's
everyone.
A great question.
I tried to jujitsu that, try to move... you know, you do that. I got a microphone and I'm trying, but it didn't work out. It was you talk about a bad night, you know? Yeah. That's, you know, it's just what everyone says.
What happened afterward? Did you talk to the people and apologize to them?
I went out there. I went out there and I did talk to some people. I even went back to the club that night to get back on the stage and to work, to get back on the horse, as they say. And I did. I apologized to quite a few people, but I didn't talk to all of everyone. They left, and I don't know how
all
to
of the
get
black
in touch with those
people.
people.
That's what he was
of course, they've gone to press, as I think they should. The fact that there's that kind of solidarity and confronting those kinds of remarks. I think it's important for the Afro-American community to make sure this kind of crap
he thought about this before, where he's like,
doesn't come I'm sorry.
You could call black people. What's the best thing I can call them? He keeps saying it. He's like, oh, that's the opposite of saying.
Yeah, Afro-American. Yes, yeah. It's right. Yeah.
It's like saying Hail Marys. You say it enough times, it heals.
Like you think that he had a PR team like tell him what to say? Like, I don't understand. Like, why does he keep saying Afro-American?
I think he did have a PR team, but I do think if you are the PR team for this, like, there's just no getting out of this, or it's not to your own abilities. And it's just like, okay, here's $50,000 I can get.
Yeah.
Sorry that it happened.
And having apologized, is there much more you can do, much more you would like to do?
I just have to do personal work. I'm still reeling from this. It's just been a few days. I don't know yet.
Jerry, is there anything you want to say to Michael here?
I know Michael many years, and I know how he works on stage, and none of that justifies what happened. But I've been talking to him today, and he's someone that I love, and I know.
Remember, like, not a dirty comic. No. Constantly complains about fucking, people being too sensitive, but also running PR for the homie here. But like, it's expected.
I don't know how shattered he is.
This could be my Kramer moment.
Peacock TV retcon Kramer out of all the episodes. You just see the doors open by themselves quickly. Yeah.
I kind of like. I'm not gonna say I like support what Seinfeld is doing here, but there is a part of me that's kind of like, well, I mean, he's like standing with his friend. I guess that was easier to do in 2005. No one was gonna yell at him as much. Yeah. For that, but like it is kind of like, I don't know. People throw people under the bus so hard, and there is. I guess it doesn't affect him if he does it one way or the other. He's like practically a fucking billionaire.
Yeah.
But who knows? Who knows? Maybe, to me, I'm not going to say it shows character. It shows something. It shows something in Seinfeld's heart.
Yeah, I think he also probably is like financially linked to Kramer a little bit too.
Yeah,
from the show, and also apparently he was on the B movie as well, like a year later. So,
well, I think like especially in 2005, they weren't gonna like stop airing Seinfeld.
Yeah,
like come on, that is not happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was 38 when his girlfriend was 17.
Yeah, the past was very different.
Yeah.
But 2005, they're not taking that out of syndication.
No.
And he deserves a chance. That's why I wanted him to come on. He deserves a chance to apologize. Yeah. And that's all he wanted. And thank you for letting him.
Oh, my pleasure.
But he got applause for that.
Yeah. Respect.
Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate it. I know it's difficult. And I certainly hope you don't have regrets about being on this show this evening. Thank you.
That he just says that fucking bullshit, and they're like, "Yeah, he's right."
Yeah, he's spoken. Real shit. Kramer identifies as a Freemason. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, no.
Seinfeld loves forbidden romance beyond his girlfriend. He made a movie where a bee has a pseudosexual relationship with a human woman.
I never saw that.
I've never seen it either. Is that real? Is that for real?